Hello. Can I get a bruv? Today we're going to be talking about exactly the reasons, the biggest reasons in my opinion, why the bull market hasn't even started yet. And really, that's what I want to dive into to start off. In fact, there's a lot of things we're going to be talking about. And number one, the bull run hasn't started in my opinion, because if it has, why have I not made any money yet? If it's already over, why haven't I made any money? To me, that's one of the biggest reasons why this bull market simply can't be over just yet. In fact, as I just said, I don't even think it's started yet. Number two, apparently and objectively, Bitcoin has officially erased all year-to-date gains for this year. It's kind of insane. If you look at this chart, if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin on January 1st, this is actually kind of insane. If you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin on January 1st, you'd have $100 worth of Bitcoin right now. Absolute garbage. But big things are coming. Just a couple of months ago, we were at all-time highs, above 126K. And you can see now it's a little bit different, where a lot of people are in the dumps, a lot of people are scared, a lot of people are bearish, and a lot of people simply don't think any good things could happen in this market. And that is exactly where maximum opportunity lies. Personally, I think that beginning of December, there's a decent chance that would be the only time I think the rest of this year we have any substantial trend change. But obviously, if we look at Bitcoin on a weekly chart right now, it's not looking good. But again, most of this video, there's a lot of good things to be looking at, and that's what I'm going to be dumping into. The last two times as well that the Bitcoin fear and greed hit such low levels that you bought the fear, that was the bottom. So that's one thing, fear and greed. As well, we look at November of 2022, the last time we were in extreme fear like this, it was a bottom, a good buying opportunity. I personally think, actually, I guess to get this out of the way right away, if we go down, if we tag like 90,000, I think that's a decent place for a local bottom before at the very least, maybe a dead cat bounce, right? So I'm not saying if we go to 90K, that's like absolutely the bottom. We're going to go straight back up to 150, 200,000. But if at least we can get to 90K, then things look good. Jim, I do smell up dog. What's up, dog, actually? What's up, everyone? Welcome. Hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone's enjoying getting dumped on. Actually, let me just verify that we're still getting dumped on. Yep, we're still getting dumped on. Okay, cool. So the odds of Bitcoin crashing below 80,000 this year have just increased according to Polymarket, which, to be honest, is pretty accurate. About a 28% chance, and now rising. A crash below 80K. Polymarket's pretty accurate. I would say, honestly, based on what I've seen with Polymarket betting in terms of not crypto stuff, but just everything, if we get up to about like a 50% chance on Polymarket that a dump is coming or a crash is coming, that's pretty big. Right now, we're at about 28%, and it is rising. So we'll see where it goes from there. But this is actually really something that I think is probably a good metric and something that is worth talking about. When USDT, if USDT dominance gets rejected hard here, then Bitcoin could see a meaningful bounce. And you can see if we look back, multiple months, when we've seen that get rejected on this trend, there has been some sort of pump. Oh, that's actually true. Somebody just commented about a red shirt. I just like the color red, but yeah, that's true. Today's pretty red. Although, to be honest, I could have worn this shirt any day over the past 2 months, and it would have been applicable because we've just been getting dumped on, actually, to be totally honest. Also, this post, crypto is easy to trade, and this is something I talked about yesterday, actually, and I think it's actually, as I said yesterday, my favorite metric, because you can look at trend lines, you can look at the moving averages, you can look at all these other indicators, but really, one thing that I think has always been super relevant is just how people feel, sentiment. And people were feeling awful 6 months ago, which is crazy, right? Bitcoin was still, exactly what was happening exactly 6 months ago? Not that one. So exactly about 6 months ago, yeah, we were at right at about 105, 100,000, bouncing around there. Any crypto gooners? I love. We have any gooners in chat? Let's hit one if we got some gooners in the chat. But yeah, 6 months ago, we were just like trading sideways, looking pretty good. But sentiment was, I remember this, and I'm sure all of you remember this as well. Sentiment was awful. Again, primarily because of altcoins. Like Bitcoin was doing good 6 months ago, relatively. I mean, to be fair, it started off the year at about 100K, went down to about 70, bounced back to 100. Still pretty sideways and boring the last 6 months for Bitcoin, but sentiment was so bad because altcoins have done nothing. I saw a post actually earlier today. Somebody compared like the price of Bitcoin and altcoins to like 2021's top, and all altcoins are like not even anywhere near as high as the altcoins are now. Meaning altcoins have just done literally nothing for the past 3 years. So that is why sentiment is so bad. So crypto is easy to trade according to Beanie on X because it is entirely sentiment based. You really don't need to use a bunch of indicators. Really, if you look at that kind of like overwhelming, if there's an incredibly overwhelming sentiment, whether it's like extreme euphoria and very bullish or extreme fear and a lot of people just feeling despondent and checked out of the market, those are like pretty honestly accurate. And as you can see, the fear and greed index, we're in extreme fear for the first time in a while. And going off that metric alone, I think, is a relatively good way to gauge, hey, are we close to at least a local bottom? Are we potentially going to get a bounce even if it is a dead cat bounce? Are we going to see some life in this market, right? Because up until this point, let's be honest, we haven't seen much life. Every time we get a little bit of excitement, a little bit of momentum, a little bit of euphoria, it immediately gets erased and everyone goes back to being depressed. Also, I wanted to take a minute in the middle of this to just highlight, apparently I saw this. Insiders are claiming that Grand Theft Auto 6 is about 20 years ahead of other games. That's going to be so chill. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys are going to buy Grand Theft Auto 6, and a 2 if you're not, and a 3 if you're bullish? Grand Theft Auto is going to be really cool. I've been waiting for... I was in college when the last Grand Theft Auto came out. This is like 12 years ago. Why does it take so long for Grand Theft Auto? I mean, it's going to be quality. Like, they don't release unfinished games, but still, it's taking too long. Also, Jim Cramer said that Bitcoin has not cooled off enough. 30K or 90K is the next level. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with Jim. Well, we got a lot of 3s in the chat. Okay, a lot of bulls in the chat. Nice, nice. I think under 90 is kind of dangerous if we slip below that, but there's like that CME gap at about 92. So that could be big. In fact, it is big. But Jim, still being bearish, that's usually a good sign. But yeah, Bitcoin traders are capitulating here. Massive, massive, massive losses across the board. A lot of people are giving up. And that's what you want to see. And to be honest, over the past month or so, I have been thinking like, man, what would really take even the most bullish people by the horns and just like push them into despair and depression, and even the most bullish people, especially even like bigger accounts, what would make them even scared and questioning? And to be fair, I think over these last 2 weeks, it's almost done it, I think. I think we've basically almost done exactly that. Slipping below 100K, big thing. People are just losing faith. In fact, a lot of these accounts that I'm even showing tweets of that are posting a lot of bearish stuff right now, they were basically only bull posting for actually the last couple of years. So that's a good sign. Truly. We also see a bullish signal for Bitcoin. We see that it's a big green line. And every time you see a big green line, I think that's a good sign. I'm actually really considering posting a big green arrow later today. If anyone, you know what? Actually, let's do this. I just had an idea. Let's post a big green arrow right now. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to prepare a big green arrow. And I'm going to post it in the chat. And if you guys want to let me see here. Give me 1 sec. Big green arrow. Where is my big green arrow? Oh my gosh. I need to have this on hand so I can post these arrows a lot quicker. I'm actually going to, I'm going to craft one up real quick. A big green arrow. Give me 1 sec here, guys. I need to prepare something a little special. It'll be ready in about 1 minute here. Give me 1 sec. Oh, this will be nice. Okay. I like this. Oof. I wish I could make it bigger, but this is about as big as it gets, unfortunately. We don't get to choose how big we are. All right, let me see. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. This turned out a little bit better than I was expecting, actually. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to post it in the chat, actually. If you guys want to engage with that, maybe give a retweet. I agree. I'm reading the chat. Big things are coming. That's what she said. Biggest. I don't care. We're going to the moon. Yeah, so there's the tweet. Let me make sure that is the right tweet. Yeah, big green arrow. Beautiful. And let's see what the market's doing, actually, this time. So I posted a big green arrow, and the market is... okay. Okay. It's only down 0.38. All right, where were we? Bullish signal for Bitcoin. Not the first time we've seen this move. According to Galaxy on X, he's highlighting these little boxes and showing a big green arrow pointing up. Perfect timing, actually. He's also posting green arrows, but let's be honest, his green arrow is not as big as my green arrow that I just posted in the chat. So biggest green arrow wins. And my arrow is clearly bigger, but every arrow is appreciated, big or small, as long as it's green and pointing up. We also see Tom Lee reaffirms that he has a $62,000 price target for ETH? What? What is the time frame for that? Can anyone I can't read that. Can anyone tell me what the time frame for that is? 62,000? When? Like 20 years? ETH is like, what is the price of ETH right now? ETH is 3,000? Okay. That's pretty bullish, but potentially not bullish enough, actually. 62,000. I haven't heard that prediction yet. Is that like is that a common price prediction? 62,000 per ETH? What, like the highest it'll ever go, or is that like soon? Anyway, so there's this post. Only 2 indicators for the cycle to be over, and those 2 indicators, and I've talked about this, are the 50-week moving average and the end of the 4-year cycle, which we've both seen. Those 2 things happen. A lot of reasons why it's not over. And I'm going to be talking about this in a second, but the business cycle, not a 4-year cycle, the stock market and gold at all-time highs, M2 at all-time highs. Death Cross has actually always signaled that a Bitcoin price is basically bottomed around then. None of the top 20 bull run indicators have hit. As well, my favorite indicator, I haven't made any money yet, so the cycle can't be over. I haven't made like any money yet. More rate cuts are coming. The government shutdown just ended. Which pumped Bitcoin for about 6 straight months last time. Ooh, that gets me going, actually. That's pretty nice. We have ETFs, garbage. We also have a lot of retirement funds that are getting integrated. Altcoins are, not only are altcoins extremely oversold, if we enter like a long, like 1 or 2 year bear market here, alts are just absolutely cooked. I mean, they're already cooked, actually. You add another year or 2 of a bear market on this thing, we're done. Done. You might as well just invest in literally anything. Fear and greed index is at a 10, which is extreme fear, which has always marked the bottom historically. And so, yeah, overall, the only 2 micro indicators, or the only 2 indicators we're seeing that speak for a top are micro indicators, but all the other indicators, the rest of the micro and all of the macro indicators say that we got some pumping to do, maybe. Not soon. I don't think we're going to pump before December. I think December is like the earliest we could have a pump. I think, to be honest, I think December might be the earliest we could even have a dead cat bounce, which is not even bullish, right? Like a dead cat bounce is not even necessarily bullish. I mean, it does give you another opportunity if you're really scared, if you want to sell or something. But, and if you truly are afraid that we're entering like a multi-year bear market and we're absolutely cooked, Cumstered and dumpstered, then yeah, I mean, a dead cat bounce would provide an opportunity where you could sell and get some of your, or recoup a lot, or pretty much all. I mean, a dead cat bounce would very likely push us back above 100K, in my opinion, considering we're not that far off of 100K right now. Like, what are we even at right now? So to get back above 100K, we just need like a 6 or 7 or 7% pump. So that's like very doable. Bitcoin did close below the 50-week moving average as of the last 24 hours. We did get and yeah, we can show this chart for that. Look at that big candle right there. Giga juicy candle right there. That is a bearish weekly candle for sure. Now it's cemented in history as a bearish weekly close. And but is this a switcheroo? Is this a fake out? Is this just trying to trick all of us right now? Who knows? Here's a little bit longer of a post, and I'm not going to read all of it, obviously, but I highlighted a few key points. I'm going to explain, according to Psychedelic on X, why, or in detail, why, where we are, and why this is nothing like 2021. Bitcoin and the rest of the market are liquidity vessels, and their cycles are not dependent on arbitrary 4-year cycles, but dependent on a wider liquidity and business cycle, which is totally different this time, apparently. Bunch of stuff. You can clearly see gold and copper's correlation with Bitcoin moves at the same time, always has. And right now we're in the longest contraction of PMI ever recorded. PMI stands for, well, I was going to make a joke, but it had a bad word in it, so I'm not going to. But when PMI ticks over 50, we enter expansion, and copper gold also go up. Yes, so does Bitcoin. So what does this tell us? Look at 2021. In 2021, we were at the peak of the business cycle, and only a massive contraction laid ahead. The expansion phase of this liquidity business cycle has not even properly gone underway yet. And as you can see with your own 2 eyes, looking at the chart, massive expansion is what lies ahead. Beautiful. Oh, by the way, since I'm pausing for a second here, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone gets something yummy to eat as well. It's important to stay healthy. Maybe get some exercise, maybe some cardio. Get something yummy. Make sure to drink some water. Maybe put some electrolytes in it. Oranges are pretty good. They have some good electrolytes. Eat some protein, eat some greens, and tell somebody something positive. If you go outside, you go to a store, you go for a walk, say hi to someone, give them a smile, maybe give them a little bit of a wink. If you maybe tell them that you like their hat, or you like their shirt or something. Just spread positivity everywhere you go. It makes life better. And it makes other people bullish, and it makes you more bullish. Spread the bullishness as well, and don't tell them to buy Bitcoin, but they'll get it. They'll get it. As well, global liquidity is heating up again. President Trump is planning to give away 2,000 stimmies. Japan is planning for over 100 billion stimmy package. U.S. Treasury is set to drain and inject liquidity into the market. Global M2 is still sitting at record highs. The Chinese money printer is working hard, and China continues to inject trillions and trillions in yuan every week. Do you think these are signs of a coming bear market again? I mean, we know the fundamentals are bullish, but are the technicals? No, actually, no. The technicals are very not bullish. Actually, I don't even know why I said that. Technicals look like garbage. Yeah, let's look at what is the weekly RSI? Okay, so yeah, like the MACD is dumping. RSI is at the lowest level since December of 2022 when Bitcoin was at 17K. Again, I tend to think that's rather bullish, because if this was telling us last time we were this low that the bottom was in, and we're this low now on the weekly RSI, and actually, when was the last time we were this low on the weekly MACD? At the last bottom, and then before that, really, like, I mean, just every bottom. For example, these momentum oscillators on a weekly chart, the last times we were this low was at bottoms. So I think we could touch 90. I think we could even slip our tip below 90. We could dip the tip a little bit below 90. Does that mean it's all ogre? No. It means that it's actually all ogre for the bearishness. I saw a tweet earlier today too where somebody was saying that basically we just got signaled that like it's bearish, that like, but basically we've been in a bear market for the last 6 months or something, or been in a very bearish trend for the last 6 months, and now everyone's getting like giga bearish. Yeah, I mean, actually looking at this chart, the weekly chart here, look at the last, how many months is this? Starting like right about here in May. So the last 6 months have been super, super, super sideways. Again, we squeaked out that tiny all-time high on Bitcoin. Keep in mind, while this was happening for Bitcoin, alts were still getting trashed. Alts sucked. They weren't doing anything. Alts as a whole were not doing much. Let's look at the actual, this is the entire altcoin chart. As you can see, I think we actually did squeak out by like the tiniest amount back at the end of September. We actually did squeak out new all-time highs for like seconds. Like it was so short-lived. But yeah, alts got cumstered and dumpstered. In fact, as I've been saying, I mean, alts have been getting boned big time for the past 4 years. As of this month, actually, yeah, alts have been getting boned for 4 years. That's actually kind of impressive how bad alts have been doing. Right? Like, that's impressive how poor they've performed. And the crazy thing now is, too, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, you shouldn't have bought alts. You should have just been in Bitcoin this whole time. As I just said at the beginning of this video, if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin on January 1st, you'd still have $100 worth of Bitcoin. So even Bitcoin, really, like, not a very lucrative investment in the last 365 days whatsoever. In fact, a very non-lucrative investment. We also see this. Coinbase has now sold for 18 straight days, a liquidation streak we've never seen before. Macro headwinds are gone. Sentiment is stabilizing, and the price action is very oversold. I just showed on even the weekly chart. We're the most oversold we've been since basically every big bottom we've seen in the last 4 years. Ooh, can I get some ones in the chat for big bottoms? We got any big bottom fans in the chat? One, if you guys like big bottoms. 2, if you like tiny bottoms. And 3, if you just like bottoms in general. And 4, if you're just really bullish. Always got to add that in there too. We got a lot of big bottom fans in here. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm glad a lot of you guys like big bottoms. That's sick. Big fan as well. Let's go. Welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using your mobile app today? Actually, their mobile, I haven't had McDonald's in like a year or two or something, but their mobile app was pretty good, I feel like, right? I'm a big hash brown fan. You guys ever put like the hash browns in between the bagel sandwich? Anyway, so yet the selling continues to accelerate. This is not normal flow. It's deliberate unloading. If smart money is offloading into weakness, what signal are we missing? Is something going on behind the scenes? Like why what do they know something? Are we supposed to be getting cumstered and dumpstered right now? Is that what's happening? Like, are we destined to just be boned big time? Or is this like a shakeout? I mean, if you think about it, Wall Street missed Bitcoin. If Wall Street would have gotten in at an opportune time for Bitcoin, really they should have. I mean, you can give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not like technically you could say, well, Wall Street should have identified Bitcoin at $1, and that's when they should have gotten when they should have started buying. Somebody asked if it's my real background. Yes, I can actually move back a little bit. Right, so you can't fault them for not like buying Bitcoin at $1, but like I would say when Bitcoin hit maybe like 1,000 or even let's say $10,000, that's when I think it should have been taken more seriously. And there were a handful, like a very, very small amount of billionaires that were kind of interested around $10,000 per Bitcoin or something. But to be fair, right, Wall Street and a lot of the big investors on planet Girth did miss Bitcoin. So are they trying to maybe bring the train back? Obviously, I think it goes without saying that a lot of these wealthy investors want to accumulate some of it. And are they manipulating the market? Yeah, absolutely. Of course, there's manipulation in every market too, right? Like that's a pretty known and normal thing. So how long is it going to last? Man, great question. I don't know. Somebody in the chat says so many influencers on X are very negative today. That's good. That's a good sign. This is my third bull to bear market, I believe. And that's always been a good sign if you want to like be in at a good level. Again, as I've been saying a couple times, if I would really take a guess for right now, if there's no bounce off of like 90K or slightly below 90K on Bitcoin, then we're completely boned. There's that CME gap at like 92K. Personally, I don't think that, unfortunately, I feel like there's probably gonna be a lot of sideways around that level probably. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway from that. I want to look at a few coins right now. I want to actually see what the price is doing. And then I kind of want to look at the chat a little bit. Um, you saw me in the gym and I was lacking motivation. I actually have to go to the gym today. That's true. I do need to go. It's been like 3 days or something. Okay, cool. So Bitcoin on a daily chart is the lowest that it's been since April of 2025. Nice. Let me zoom out here, actually. Yeah, so this is the lowest we've been since April. So the lowest we've been in 7 months. Today, as you can see on the daily, this is right now the candle, the body of the wick is below where we closed yesterday at about 94. Now we're at 93. I'm going to draw on the chart where the CME gap is. I believe it's like right about here. So yeah, we need a little bit of a dippy do to continue if we're going to even fill that, which is very likely. Another 1 or 2% drop, not very hard to get to. And but I mean, honestly, I don't like that how slowly this is dumping. At least we had a big dump on Friday. It went from 99,000 to 93. So that's about what? Is that like a 4 or 5%? It's like a 5, almost 6% dump. Today it's a little slow. It's a little boring. I'm curious what the S&P 500 is doing. Oh wow, the S&P 500 it's about flat today. The Nasdaq's up like 0.2%. Dow Jones is flat as well. So really not a lot going on in stocks. Obviously, there's a lot of fear of people about the tech or the AI bubble, right? There's absolutely no need for all these companies to be investing in AI. There's going to be a handful of companies, in my opinion, that AI really becomes a lucrative, like, well worth investment to be putting all of that capital into like AI infrastructure. I think there's going to be a couple winners. I don't think every company on the planet needs to be investing billions of dollars into AI. Jim says, check out the liquidity heat map. Let me see if I can find that quick. If anyone actually wants to post it in the chat, I don't know if I have that enabled. I don't know how to enable that, but let me see. Bitcoin USDT liquidation heat map. Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's take a peek. Is this accurate? Give me 1 sec. Is this right? Let me, so is that right around what, like 92.8? There's about $60 million worth of leverage positions that'll get absolutely creamed and cumstered and dumpstered right there. Big time, big time. If anyone has, if anyone wants to send me, even on X, a better one, if you want me to look at that, I can look in my my mentions really quick on X. Let me see here. Let me see on X. I'll give it a couple minutes if you guys want to post a chart on there, because I think that's the only way that I can receive an image. I don't think my chat enables images. I'll give it a minute. Yeah, I mean, a lot of liquidations. I mean, how many liquidations are there really left, to be honest? There definitely is, but like, we've just been getting liquidated, or longs have been getting liquidated for the past 6 months over and over and over. The last short liquidation we had was right up here about 120K that pushed us to like 126 at the very end of September. But remember, everyone was very bullish in October. October was supposed to be a pretty bullish month. Historically, October has been a bullish month. October ended very red. November is already halfway over, and it is even more red than October, I believe, right? And what's in store for December? Will we have 3 bearish months in a row? It's possible. I tend to think, as I've been saying the past month or so, I think the earliest we could see like an actual potential real bounce, or unfortunately even just a dead cat bounce, is going to be in December. So for everybody here as well, if you're just tuning in, basically, I think one of the highlights of today were, one, watching the price get dumpied slowly, a slow dumpy, only down about 1% maybe. But then two, the big news of the day pretty much is that if you bought Bitcoin at the beginning of this year, you have made 0 gains. So hit that like and subscribe if you're in the chat and you are chill with that. Or even if you're not chill, hit that like and subscribe for all the people that, including myself, that have made 0 gains in Bitcoin in the past year. Let's get some let's get some ones in the chat. Paul Christ, I hope you have a good day, big dog. Let's see here. And wait, let me go back to the live. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's a slow dump, but this is my second live stream in the last 4 years, and I'm kind of excited to actually stream if we get a real dump or an actual pump, because the last 2 days, as you can see, I did sell. I mean, I didn't really sell any position, but I have income and I have things. I'm fine. I've been through, this will be my 3rd one. I know how this goes, and pain is the name of the game, to be honest. But yeah, 2 days, these have been so boring. What is this? It's like a maybe 3% swing. What is here? Maybe like a 1 or 2% swing so far. I'm really excited to see this market actually do something. Marry me and have children so we can keep our fortune from the new purchase in the family. True. That's a good plan, I guess. Really, we could be seeing one of these days, right? I mean, stocks are holding up right now. So I think that's a precursor, or like we need something like the stocks to start dumping to really see Bitcoin accelerate in dumpiness. But this week, I think, is potentially a very definitive week. I think we have Thanksgiving in the U.S. coming up next week, holidays. Honestly, there is a decent amount of social pressure and metrics that kind of occur around Thanksgiving. A lot of people talk to their family. A lot of people will say like, hey, I bought Bitcoin, it's doing well. Or, hey, you told me to buy Bitcoin and it's doing awful. Why did you tell me to do that? And then there's like family drama and stuff like that, right? So there's usually, in my recent memory, Thanksgivings are actually kind of an interesting week, like Thanksgiving week, because price tends to be a little more volatile. Things tend to happen a little bit. There's a lot of socialization that goes on, a lot of socializing, a lot of recommending of things, aka a lot of people recommend different assets. Or do you guys remember in like 2021 NFTs? Oh my gosh. Rest in peace. Does anyone remember NFTs? Does anyone still, all right, put a 1 in the chat if anyone owns NFTs still. Actually, I own NFTs, so I'm going to put a 1 in the chat. I think. I don't even know. I kind of forget even how to access them. I don't care. They're worth like nothing now, but let's get a 1 in the chat if you guys own an NFT. 2 if you don't own NFTs, and 3 if you're bullish. Oh, wow, we actually have a lot of NFTs. Yeah, I've never been like a big fan of NFTs, but I just bought them because like, hey, I'm also not a fan of gambling, but I've done it before, you know what I mean? Lone says Bitcoin is going to 0. The whole financial system is going to be reset for the beast system. Just my opinion. I think that's actually true. I think we're actually going to go below 0 if possible. Jake says I got burned by every NFT I bought. Yeah, I think one of my NFTs is maybe still worth like $1,000 maybe, but I think I made I had paper gains on it for a long time. And now I think I'm just like even back to even or something, which is crazy. A lot of them I lost money on, but I didn't really spend a lot of money on NFTs, to be fair. I remember just crypto Twitter and like social media just being so crazy about NFTs for like 2 years. I remember I made a joke in 2023 about NFTs being like, yeah, does anyone remember NFTs? And like so many people were responding negatively, like, dude, shut up, like NFTs are gonna come back, don't say stuff like that, whatever. And so I like deleted the post after like 20 minutes because I didn't want to make people upset, you know? I didn't want to like make people, it was more like a joke. I thought people would be like, yeah, that's funny, like NFTs suck, but then a lot of people were like, dude, don't say that, like they're gonna come back. So I just felt bad. I don't want to like hurt people's feelings, obviously. A lot of memories with NFTs though. Good times, really good times. Cool. Well, Bitcoin is kind of boring right now. Went through most of the news. Big news of the day, basically. If you bought Bitcoin at the beginning of the year, you're break even. Is that a macro signal that, hey, bottom is in and enough pain has come? Or do we have to experience much more pain? That's really the question that we'll have an answer to, in my opinion, within the next 2 weeks. Secretly, I was laughing. Yeah. Also, it was funny. I posted a copy pasta on like Twitter or X yesterday. It was just something like I received a call. You know those like dumb copy pastas where it's like I just got a call from whatever, and it's like basically nobody knows how big things are coming. Which I do like I probably do like a dumb post like that at least like 3 times a week or something. But this guy on X was like, he was saying something like, yeah, you shouldn't be listening to people like this, not having a sense of humor or something like that. But then it was funny too. He was like, it's always people that have zero connections in the industry, as if this guy who's the 10 millionth person to sit in his room and pretend to be a day trader on YouTube, as if he has any connections whatsoever. I found that so ironic and so silly. Also, maybe missing part of a prefrontal cortex, can't even understand like basic dumb humor. I get it. Like tensions are high for people because prices are kind of garbage, right? But like basically, try not to spread negativity on the internet or real life, because all it is a reflection of you. If you're purposely going out of your way to be negative to people, anybody that's intelligent realizes that the negative person is the one that's unhappy and they're projecting their unhappiness, right? They're the ones that are clouding their thoughts with these bad thoughts, negative thoughts, and they're trying to spread negativity, and nobody likes those people, right? This is not really related to the internet as much, but like in real life, do you ever like hang out with people and they're just like negative all the time and nobody likes them? Yeah, just don't be negative. It's actually that easy. If you want people to like you, basically just train yourself to be more positive and more friendly and compliment people, be nice, be genuine about it though too. Don't be fake about it. Like try to appreciate things about people and be grateful. And it makes your life so much better, whether you have money or not. Like spreading positivity is so easy. It's actually so easy. You actually have to use more energy to be negative than you have to be. Being negative takes more effort and energy than being positive. Yet a lot of people not a lot of people. In fact, for me, I actually don't know many negative people, pretty much because I surround myself with positive people, and I'm a positive person. And so actually I haven't really had a negative experience with somebody in a while, because basically if you surround yourself with good people, then your life is better. So that's actually a tip that you can take and apply it whether the market's up or down, because it makes your life better, you know? Just be a positive person. I used to be a very negative person. That's how I know it, right? I used to not be happy. Like high school, maybe early 20s, whatever. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I actually did that unintentionally. 6 or 7 years ago, I just started being more positive, and I was like, wow, why is life so much better? It's like, oh wait, it's because I just decided to be more positive, and life just gets better. So with that being said, my friend spread his HIV positiveness. You guys want to hear a fun fact? I found this out recently, I think, that like, even if you have sex with somebody with HIV, I think there's only like a 2% chance you contract it or something. Whereas like other STDs, I think it's like a much higher transmission rate or something. But apparently it's kind of hard to get that. So that's crazy. I guess that's good because it's also, you can't cure it. So like that kind of sucks, I guess, right? Cool. But yeah, I think I'm gonna actually go to the gym soon. I gotta eat some snacks first, get some carbs in me. But yeah, thanks for joining. Hit that like and subscribe if you guys want to buy altcoins, if you want to buy things. Being nice is 100% gay. Well, isn't the meaning of the word gay actually just happy, right? Or like nice or something? No, I don't play piano. Somebody asked. No, I play the guitar. I don't play piano. I like the piano. I just have never played it really. Yeah, I get it, PJR. I understand your joke that you're going with. I get it. Cool. I hope everyone has a good day. Get some good food, get some exercise, go out and get some sun. PGR, if you don't want to be happy, dog, then go do some reps. Do like a lift or something. That'll make you happy, I guarantee. Ooh, is Bitcoin dumping right now, actually? Wait, let's, I want to take a look at this real quick. 92.9. Okay. We're below 93 for the first time in a little bit. I know, I'm just kidding too. 100 gay guys walking to an HIV. Yeah, 92 is hit, so we're a little bit below 93. Nice. Keep dumping, please. So Bitcoin's down 1.2% right now. I wonder if what's the stock market doing? It's still really flat, actually. Nasdaq almost erased its gains for today as well. So since I kind of want to watch this for another minute or two, but since I'm here too, it's funny too. Like on the internet, if you post, and this is for anybody that actually like posts on the internet, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's like Twitter, whether it's Facebook or whatever people use. If you put yourself on the internet, there's like 100% chance that at least 2 to 5% of your interactions are at some points are going to be like negative people or something like that. And I honestly love that. I think it's funny. I think that because real life is crazy. My real life, like it's insane how good it is and how positive my interactions are. Literally, I would say every like 3 months, maybe I have a weird interaction where I walk away and I'm like, ooh, that was weird. Like that didn't feel good. That was like negative or something. But it's usually because somebody's having a bad day or something. But it is kind of crazy. I think that's honestly, if we dive into it, I think that's why a lot of people aren't happy because they base their happiness on like internet people and like interactions they have on the internet, which are not real, right? Like internet interactions you have on the internet, like whether it's like a really negative thing or something, they're like, they don't actually know you. They don't know what it's like to actually interact with you. So it is kind of crazy. I think that's kind of the source of maybe some people's unhappiness is like, honestly, it sounds dumb, but like spending too much time on the internet, right? So yeah, it is good to like get off the internet or at least have at least one real social interaction with a new person every day. At least one, right? Just give somebody a smile or something, right? Oh, I haven't cared what anybody said on the internet in the past. I think I did maybe like the first 6 months. Well, actually, maybe when I was like 15 and 16, I cared about that kind of thing. I absolutely don't give a heck about any internet opinion whatsoever. I haven't for at least probably the last 7 or 8 years or something. If I cared about what people thought on the internet, I probably wouldn't be posting things on the internet, right? I absolutely don't care at all. A study that negative reviewers were perceived as more intelligent. That's unfortunate because usually negative reviewers are less intelligent. At least negative people in general are more. You have to understand if you're negative about things, you're actively choosing to make your life more negative. So that's by definition, like a low IQ thing to do. If you would ask somebody like, do you want to be happy or do you want to be unhappy? Hopefully 100% of people would say, I want to be happy. And if somebody was like, well, I want to be unhappy, what possible reason would anybody want to be unhappy? Ooh, actually, we just set a new lower low. We went below yesterday's lows. Nice. Let me, okay. It is true. It is like the bell curve. Really dumb or really intelligent people are happy. And usually it's people like right in the middle that aren't smart enough to understand things, but aren't also that dumb either. They're usually the ones that get trapped. And I would say most people are kind of in the middle. Like most people are not super intelligent. Most people are not super dumb. Most people are just average. But there is a decent amount of like regular people that just understand the same things, but it is kind of like a bell curve thing. Like I agree with that. This dump, where's the CME gap actually? I'm going to pull that up. What is it, CME? Can someone remind me what I think it's CME 1 or 1, what is it? It's like BTC 1. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, it's this. Okay. The CME gap is basically it would be filled if we go to like 92.25, right? Let me actually zoom out so you can see this. I think it's like right about here. I agree, science guy, I agree. My early 20s, I was a little more, especially my late teens, I was like more depressed and like negative. And then, like I said, the past 7 or 8 years, every year's been getting so much better. All you have to do is be positive. Anyway, so let me see. If you put a line on this and go horizontal, look how close we are to touching this, really. Like, that would be filling the CME gap. As I think most people are saying this as well. Like, at the very least, we're probably going to go down there. But also, that's not really surprising considering, like, the last 6 days, we've just gone straight down already. So, like, saying, oh, we're going to keep dumping is not, like, a very novel or like, crazy thing to say. I think everyone agrees that there's no sign of a bounce yet, right? Like, any signs of a bounce? No. I mean, these candles are just beginning on November 11th. So about a week ago, just straight dumpiness. There was one day, Saturday was a little green. Not really though. That was like a baby mini dead cat bounce, right? Because you go from 99 to 93, bounce from 94 to 96, 97, then straight back down. Here's day 2 of that. So And Anon says you have to go to the candle below that, not on the gap under candle. So what is that, like 92 exactly or something? How done are we? As I Lay Dying says going to 80K before bounce. Honestly, it's possible. What does that even look like on a chart? If we go down to 80K, like 80 even? So honestly, one of the reasons I kind of like that potential idea is that it would be a very big, basically almost a 7 month, about a 7 month double bottom. So say we come down to about like here-ish. Let me draw something really quick. You got a bottom here. If we did go to like 80K, it would be a higher low as well, because the low there was about 75. And if we ultimately bottomed at, somebody said the charts look cooked. Bro, they absolutely look cooked. They look so cooked, to be honest. These charts look like really cooked. But yeah, 80, sure. I don't see why that would be out of the cards. Really, if you really look at it on like a macro like this, if you slip below, well, let's be honest, going below the 50-week moving average is pretty bearish, obviously. But if you slip below the previous macro higher low, which was about 74.9 or about, let's just say 75,000, there's literally no way that that's not giga bearish. That's like the ultimate, okay, basically I would say like absolutely definitely bear market prolonged, probably like a long bear market. But keep in mind, that is still about another $12,000 to $15,000 lower than we are right now. Would that be within the 25 to 35% pullback range? Actually, that would be exactly 35% pullback. So that's kind of crazy, actually. So basically, if we did have a 20 or 35% pullback from all-time highs, it would be right about to 80K, which if it bounced there, I would assume there would have to be some sort of momentum up, and also some momentum up. But then also, even if it is just a dead cat bounce, I would assume at least we'd probably get like a 10-15% pump to back at least to about 100K or sorry, about to where we are right now, maybe 100K. That would be more of like that'd be like a 25% bounce off of that. But hey, I don't think that's out of the cards, honestly, at this point. Losing the 50-week moving average does really confirm more bearishness than you could have said a week ago, right? You couldn't have said definitively a week ago that we're going to close below the 50-week. Now we did. Now that we did, within the last 12 hours, the last 24 hours, what is this? Somebody's prom date tied them to a tree? Tied my prom date to a tree. Wait, what is going on here? I tied my prom date. I never went to prom, actually. Had no interest. I like dancing's pretty cool, though. I don't understand the... But yeah, so 80, honestly, sure. Anything below 80 is absolute doom. Absolute below, anything below 80 is absolute just complete dumpiness. Absolutely. But I think it's a little too early to say that. We're not there quite yet. Again, you look at I want to look real quick at the daily. Yeah, it's still a little red. Nothing like crazy bad though, right? Like, wait, let me, it's still pretty slow. It's pretty painfully boring. Again, I've said this for years, and I've had like, I don't know, 100 tweets about this. Being bored for me in a market is so much worse than getting pumped I mean, obviously getting pumped on feels good. Getting dumped on doesn't feel good, but being bored is what sucks the most, in my opinion. And absolutely, these last even 6 months, I got to respond to this. It's actually average. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to, I'm going to post this in the chat. Can you guys retweet this? Retweet this. It's a big green arrow. We're trying to manifest higher prices by being positive, and if we can get enough people to see this green arrow, maybe it'll convince people that actually we should be buying instead of selling. Also, somebody said that my mic is a little low. Is it how's the volume? Is it loud enough? Is it too low? Should I increase the gain a little bit? I can increase the gains on my mic, but not on my portfolio, because absolute garbage gains, or absolute garbage market right now. This market has been so boring, man. Holy cow. Increase volume, someone said. Yeah, let me see if I can put like a gain on the mic real quick. Hello. Do we have any British folks in the chat? Do we have any Harry Potter fans in the chat? Harry. My favorite character is Dobby, the little, like the little weird guy. All right, I'm gonna try increasing the volume a little bit. Hello, 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 hello. Is this a little louder? A little bit? I increased the gain a little bit. PJ, there's a guy in the chat that's just every time I see his word in the chat, he's just calling things the G word. It's pretty. I like that. It's funny. Jim, you said you knew my favorite character would be Dobby. Is that because he's like a nice little elf guy or whatever he is? Like a goblin, a ghoul? Is he like some sort of goblin or ghoul? 92.6, 92.663, 92.661. This dump, yeah, I'd be very interested to see if this accelerates pretty quick. Harry Potter's a G name. The mic's a little better? Okay, cool. I didn't want to make it too loud. I think it's going to start clipping soon if I do. This is only my second stream in the last 4 years, so I don't really, I don't know if I have my settings right. It's actually like really easy though. You just put in like a little code and then just press start streaming, and that's really, I guess, all you have to do. I just have to get my settings good. I figured actually right now is a decent time to start trying to figure this out because the market sucks. It's really boring. Like I would not want to be, I mean, me personally, I try not to spend too much time. I mean, I do. I'm addicted to the charts, so I spend too much time looking at them. I think we all do. But what would you guys say on average? How long you look at the charts every day? I would think cumulatively, I probably spend a solid at least hour of my day looking at a candle. What a waste of time. What a waste of my time. But that's all right. I have a lot of free time, so I like doing it. So Stars and Night says, I don't care where Bitcoin is now. I care what it is in 10 years. Absolutely true. And if you think about that, again, that's why Bitcoin has always been bullish. And that's why I'm always bullish. On a long enough time frame, it's only gone up, right? Nishan says he spends 10 hours a day staring at Bitcoin. That's a lot. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it's like bullish, when the price is going up, I like obviously, it goes without saying, but like staring, I would say one of my favorite parts of life sometimes is like during a bull market, during those pumps, you know, the 10, 15, 20% daily pumps that we, to be honest, haven't really gotten yet this cycle at all. Even at the most bullish, we weren't really getting crazy candles. I'd say maybe there's 5 to 10 days, maybe out of the last 4 years where we've gotten pumpy, like exciting things like that. But that really is like one of the best dopamine hits that you can get is just watching the candles go up. Obviously, it feels so good. But it just has not really happened that much this cycle, right? Like the we're hitting new lower lows. Okay, 92.5. But yeah, this cycle, that's another thing. Alts have been doing really bad, but then even Bitcoin, like its runs, they really haven't been like that exciting. Let's even just look on a daily chart. Try and go back. What are like the most exciting? This was a pretty big pump, right? April 22nd, 2 days after 420. Nice. 87 to 94, $7,000 pump. That's okay. But like that's literally like the biggest candle I can see on this chart. What is this? This was 97 to about 104. So again, a $7,000 pump. And then what, like 2 weeks of sideways. And then we kind of inched and squinched up back to at the time, those were all-time highs as well. Really, I mean, okay, wait, so this is pretty big. This is 69,000, nice, to 76,000. But wasn't that election day? This is like a very big fundamental, this was the very big like actual news, right? A $7,000 pump. Yeah, about wait, is the biggest daily candle we've gotten in the past couple of years just $7,000? Is that it? Okay, no, this was the biggest one. 80,000 to 89,000. This was on November 11th. 11/11, actually. 11/11/2024 was the biggest single daily candle we've gotten since, well, probably ever. That might actually, by simple actual dollar amount, I think that was the biggest pump we've gotten. But percentage-wise, we have had way bigger run-ups. I mean, look at this, for example. This is back in 2021. We have not seen anything close to this spectacular run-up from October to April, a solid 6 months of giga gains, right? Crazy. Absolute solid 6 months. I was in the hospital for part of this because my appendix exploded. So I couldn't even like really enjoy it all the way, right? Doesn't that suck? My appendix was like, bye-bye. But I was still looking at the charts on my hospital bed. But yeah, we have not had anything similar to this 6 month pump at all this cycle. Obviously, look, you see like, okay, this is pretty chill, massive run up. And then obviously the beginning of the bear market after a fake out, like dead cat bounce type thing. But here it's just been so like, it has been going up, but it's been so like not as exciting, so muted. And obviously it's probably because institutions are heavily involved with the Bitcoin spot ETFs. You have to think fundamentally things are just completely different now because institutions are, I was in my hospital bed, like what a beautiful place to be with friends. Isn't that what Dobby said when he died on the beach, right? Dobby, what a cute little guy. Rest in peace. He's not even real, but you know what? I believe in like, obviously I think there's a lot of evidence that the multiverse exists and like everything basically has or will happen or is happening because past, future, and present are all the same thing. We just interpret time the way we do. Anyway, there has to be a real life Dobby somewhere. Dobby on the beach. Harry Potter's real. Gundams, Zoids are real. Power Rangers, Barney, Elmo, SpongeBob is actually real somewhere, right? There's a universe where SpongeBob exists. Isn't that kind of crazy? Not to go off on a tangent, but like if the multiverse theory is actually real, which there's a lot of evidence, especially from quantum mechanics that it is, then everything that you can imagine quite literally has existed, will or exist, or does exist. Is that not insane? And here we are looking at our little charts, going to work every day, worrying about this and that. When isn't that kind of like an insane thing to think about? There is a universe where Bitcoin pumps $100,000 today. It's not this universe, but but there is a universe. Actually, we can manifest it into this universe if we get enough people to repost that big green arrow. Maybe then we can make that this universe. One time I was using Tinder and the guy who played Elmo was on there. I liked him, but he didn't like me back. What? There was a like. What do you mean? He played Elmo like. I thought they were puppets. Are they people in suits or are they puppets? I thought they did the hand up they put like their hand in the puppet and they like move it around. Kevin Clash. I mean the market is still kind of still slowly sinking lower and lower. So I want to take a look. S&P 500 is actually red now today. Beautiful. S&P 500 is down. S&P 500 is down 0.3%. NASDAQ is down 0.08. Dow Jones is down 0.36. So we're seeing red in the stock market as well. And that's contributing to why we're seeing the lowest Bitcoin price that we've seen in 6 months. So absolute cookathon for sure. I'm going to do this. If we can hit 500 likes on this stream, I'm going to put on a kimono the next time Bitcoin pumps or has a green day, because that even seems like not a super easy thing in this current market, right? Next time Bitcoin has a green day up at least 1,000% and closes, we're going to start wearing kimonos every day. Green days, we're going to wear kimonos, but we got to get up to 500 likes if we're going to get a kimono, to be honest, because I actually don't have a kimono right now. I sold my kimono, or I lost it. I don't even know what happened. But I could get like a real authentic Japanese kimono. That'd be kind of chill, actually. I was telling my friend last night, I was like, spiritually, I identify, and I think I was born in the wrong body. I should have been a Japanese man. And I think that's honestly true. I think I should have been born Japanese. I just wasn't. But maybe soon. You know, I'm going to probably wear the kimono anyway, actually. I just want to wear a kimono now, to be fair. Okay, 92.6. Nice. I'm actually going to be in Tokyo exactly a month from now. I'm going to be in Tokyo, so that's going to be chill. Ooh, I'll do like a live stream in Tokyo or something every day, and then I'll follow me on Instagram as well. I'm going to be posting a lot of cool stuff in Tokyo. I'm just going to go like eat food. My friend lives there, so I'm going to go hang out with my friend. I'm going with my other friend, so they're going to meet my friend for the first time, and he has a wife now, so I'm going to like meet his wife. Oh, let me actually post my that'll be chill. If you guys want to see like Japanese stuff, I'll be there in a month. This is the Instagram. I'll be posting a lot of Yeah, we are getting boned. Yeah. My hog is from Japan. That's funny. Mine too, probably, I guess. Shibuya's cool. I'm going to be staying actually very close to Shibuya. Okay, 92.5. Okay, getting dumped on. Do altcoins have a better price in Tokyo? Actually, what is the price of Bitcoin in... let me find that out real quick. What is the price of Bitcoin right now in Japanese yen? What is the price of Bitcoin right now in Japanese yen? Yes, konnichiwa. Right now, one Bitcoin is 14 million yen. Nice. One Bitcoin in Japanese yen is 14 million. That's so cool. 92.5. Nice. Meow. Diaper, diaper, diaper. Arigato. Gozaimasu. Oh, konnichiwa. Sheshe. I think that's Chinese, actually. All right, well, price is actually bouncing a little bit, so if anything happens, maybe I'll do a stream later. But again, this is just my second test stream. I kind of want to just test it out. It's way easier than posting a video, and also it's more chill as well, so I'm just going to try and keep doing this. Also, it's more fun for me to read things than stare at my screen. Like I like reading the chat more than other things. So yeah, hope everyone has a good day. Get some pumps in. If we're not going to get pumps in the market, get a pump in the gym or something. Go for a walk. Walks are honestly so good for your mental health. 10-minute walk. Go for a 10-minute walk. Yes, I'm hoping to get a sponsorship from Pampers, but nobody's responding to any of my messages right now, actually. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the price is down or they just don't... they're not interested in responding to me, but nobody's getting back to me. I've been reaching out for diaper sponsorships for a while, but nobody's responding. Yeah, everyone, make sure to tell somebody they look beautiful today. Tell them have a good day and stuff like that. Try and smash up those likes because I want to wear a kimono as well. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe. If you want to buy garbage coins, you can buy them in the links below. Hey, honestly, it might be a good opportunity because we're probably going to... I mean, these are... Actually, you know what? I had a little bit of USDT that I have been saving up for like the last 4 days. I actually want to buy some. This would be a good time to buy it, actually. I'm going to go do that when the stream is over. But I also need to eat some snacks and then go to the gym and stuff. So, cool.